Hey TLC, it's Janet. I'm back for Freestyle Friday, and today I'm going to teach you how to make Miss Janet's cookies. Let's go. All right, y'all, we're going to go over the ingredients now. We've got baking soda, brown sugar, flour, also white sugar. For my gluten-free babies, we've got gluten-free flour, we've got pink Himalayan salt, cocoa powder, vanilla, butterscotch chips, white chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and if you're a little extra crazy, some marshmallows. All right, y'all, now that we've gone over most of the ingredients, I didn't show you the butter or the eggs. I'm actually going to be showing you a double recipe because whoever wants just one of anything, right? We always want to double it because that's what life's about. Eat as much as you can. Don't do that. All right, but right now in this bowl, I've got all my wet ingredients. And so I've got white sugar, brown sugar, and butter. And then in a second, I'm gonna add eggs and vanilla. So I wanna show you how you wanna pack your brown sugar. It's important that you really pack it in because it's a firmer sugar. And so you see how much I packed this in? I just used a spoon to pack it in just like that. So I'm gonna dump it in now, and it should look like this when it falls in. Like that, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing this up. And I'm gonna mix it up so that the butter and the sugar are equally mixed. It's important that that butter absorbs that sugar. That's what gives you that extra flavor. So it looks scary. I actually have 4 sticks of butter. It's 2 sticks of butter per recipe. I know that sounds like a diabetes. It is. Good job. All right. So we're gonna mix this up a little bit, and then I'm gonna add 1 egg at a time, and I'm not going to add in another egg until the first egg is properly mixed in. One thing you can do to make sure that you don't have egg bits or pieces of shell in the mix, which that's not great to eat. You can break them into a bowl and then add them in after. So I'm going to add the eggs. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so now we've got all our wet ingredients all mixed up. Should look something like that. I'm not going to tilt it too much. And now we're going to work on our dry ingredients. So I'm going to use regular flour today. And so right here, you kind of see it right here. I've got my flour, and then I'm adding baking soda. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that. 1 teaspoon per recipe. And then I'm going to show you how to properly put flour in, because so flour is the opposite of brown sugar. You don't want to pack it in. And so this is how it should be done. So I've got my flour here. I've got my 1/2 cup here. And what I'm going to do is grab this. This looks really repetitive and like really boring, but it's worth it because your cookies will come out perfect. Now, if you like extra flour, it's going to make your cookies a little cakey. And if you like that, a little more volume to your cookies, then that's great for you. But I'm going to show you how to make them nice and chewy and I don't want to say the perfect consistency, but they're Miss Janet's cookies. So, okay. So I'm going to get my spoon and I'm just going to scoop it on in. Scoop it on in. All right. It's about 4 spoonfuls. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a knife and then I'm going to level it off. That's it, right? Perfect. Not packed too much. Nice and even. Boom, done. I'll tell you those measurements in the actual recipe later. So now I'm done with my dry ingredients. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit so that we get an even spread of the leavening properties. You want to make sure that all your cookies get a little bit of that baking soda. Eggs do make cookies rise, but that baking soda gives it that extra little kick. So all right, all mixed up, and now we're gonna add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and you don't want to just dump it in. Not gonna be great. I do it in 3, so I do a little bit, and then I just mix it all together eventually. So I'm gonna do that off camera. Be right back. Hey there again. All right, so I mixed it all up. This was what it should look like, a nice boom, like that. If you want to make your cookies a little bit more solid, you can always add a little bit of cornstarch, like a teaspoon per however many recipes you make. I usually make a double, sometimes I make a quadruple, especially when I'm making it for the TLC staff. So it'd be double this size. Anyway, so now I'm going to show you, I already have a dough prepared. I'll show you that in a little bit, but right now I'm going to add some chocolate chips and then some butterscotch chips as well. And I do semi-sweet because the cookie dough is already very sweet. So what we did is we did 2 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. What that does is makes the cookie a little bit chewier, like a little bit more like melt in your mouth kind of feel. White sugar makes it a little bit crunchier. So if you like the crunchy outside, then you can add more white sugar than brown sugar, but I do a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you quadruple the recipe, then you would do 4 cups of brown sugar, 2 cups of white sugar. Got it? Awesome. Math is cool. So I'm going to add some semi-sweet chocolate chips. It's 43% cacao. Got these for like less than $3 at Aldi. Highly recommend it. It's Belgian chocolate. And then I also got some butterscotch chips. Gonna add some of those. I just kind of add however many I want and then see how they're spread across the dough. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So let me mix this real quick and then I'll show you. You'll be able to see some bare spots and then I'll know where to add some more chips. I kind of have my own thing. Some people just add the whole bag right in. I say go for it. Do what you need to do. Okay, so I kind of have a bald spot here where there's no butterscotch chips. So I'm gonna add some more. If they'll come out. Woo. Okay. Okay, you didn't see that. It's just for me. I'm not giving this to anybody. Okay. I clean my hands. They're clean. All right, all done. Now the key after this is to put this in the fridge. So I usually like to put this in a nice gallon bag and then I'll throw it in the refrigerator. For best results, you could put it in overnight. Now I know most of you are gonna be like, I'm not waiting that long. I agree. So I would say throw this in for about an hour. If you can't wait that long, then I would say put it in a freezer bag and throw it in the freezer for like 20 minutes. And that'll help, this sounds like really sciencey, but it'll help the butter soak into the flour. Now we already had the sugar melt into the butter, right? And now we want the butter with all those sugars and flavors and all that to melt into the flour and make that full flavor. So that's what the refrigerator or freezer does. It also helps your cookies become more compact. The less you refrigerate, the more they're gonna expand. So you know, you see those melty cookies, like those cookie fails, that's what that's from, is they didn't actually refrigerate their dough. So that's important. Another thing to note is that you want your butter to be at room temperature and you also want your eggs to be at room temperature. That'll help your cookie dough be smooth and not seize up because of the different temperature, like the differences in temperature between like the flour and the eggs. So don't melt your butter unless, again, you want those lake-like cookies. Okay, be right back. Oh, cookies are done. All right, here we are. Here's the finished product. I baked these earlier and I have some awesome people that are gonna eat them in a hot second. But I just wanna thank you for joining me for Freestyle Friday, Miss Janet's Cookies. I hope you make these recipes and I hope you enjoy them. So don't forget that this base, you can add anything to it. So you can use this base without the chocolate chips and you can make funfetti. You can make chocolate chip with marshmallow. You can make anything you'd like. So use that base and you'll be set. So we're gonna have some awesome people come try them now. Bye.